I woke to cheap polyester scraping my cheek and rope biting my wrists. A motel room, bleach, fake pine, a TV on mute. Then the memory hit. My wife Harper and her sisters, Bianca and Tessa, giggling as they tied me to the bed for fun, lifting my wallet and passport and driving off in my truck. "Good luck, Owen," Bianca had crowed. The knots were dollar store but tight. I worked a hand free, staggered up in socks, the only mercy they left, and peered through the curtain. No truck, no Harper. Just a raccoon at the dumpster and a highway streaming indifference. We'd been 900 meters from home. 900 meters, and I was a punchline. The desk clerk, name tag, Darren, soul, over it, wouldn't lend a charger or phone. "No ID, no service," he droned to level 12 of Candy Crush. I sat in the lobby for hours, invisible furniture in a room that smelled like disinfectant and defeat, while strangers came and went and the idea of going back curdled in my gut. Back to what? Our house full of her perfume and jokes at my expense? No. The man she tied to that bed could stay in that room. I wasn't going back. Near sunset, a delivery driver in coveralls, Vince's deliveries on the door, caught me staring at the exit. He looked me over, socked feet and rope burns and all, then handed me a foil-wrapped turkey sandwich. "Rule 1, he said, you can't think straight hungry." When I admitted I didn't want to go home, he nodded like I'd said something wise and offered a ride north on his route. 200 miles later, with classic rock low on the radio and coffee that tasted like burnt hope, I called the only person who might say yes, without conditions. Uncle Raymond answered on the second ring. "Always got room for family, son." Raymond's farmhouse sat on the edge of a place called Millbrook, the kind of town where porches creak in a friendly way and coffee smells like mornings you want to remember. He fed me stew, pointed to the guest room, and asked nothing. On the second night, he set an envelope on the porch rail, some cash, a driver's license with my face and a borrowed last name, Owen Rohr, and the number of a friend who owned a garage. "Sometimes a man needs a fresh start," he said. "Sometimes that means being new for a while." Jeb's garage looked like it had been installed during the Eisenhower administration and left on purpose. The coffee-stripped paint, the radio, never left classic rock. Jeb, mustache, forearms like leather, handed me coveralls with a different man's name stitched on the pocket and a set of tools. It felt like stepping into boots I'd forgotten were mine. A few weeks in, a man stumbled through the bay doors with blood soaking his shirt. He managed, "Got jumped. Took my car," before his knees buckled. I pressed a rag to the knife wound and talked while we waited for the sirens. "Callum," he said through clenched teeth. "Callum Brooks." He lived. He brought coffee a few days later to say thanks and never quite left. He had the watchful eyes of someone who learned the hard way to read rooms. When I asked about it one stormy night, thunder rolling the house, he told me why. "I used to be a cop," he said quietly. "Narcotics. Trusted my partner. He framed me clean. IA couldn't prove I was dirty, couldn't prove I wasn't. I lost the badge, the pension, the friends who didn't want the smoke. He got promoted." He looked at the rain. "They erased Detective Callum Rivera. Couldn't erase me." He helped when he saw the back door at Raymond's hanging open one afternoon, and the desk drawer slid 6 inches. The only thing missing, the emergency cache. Not random. Callum installed locks like a fortress, motion lights bright enough to land planes, and a camera system that pinged his phone. "People who come back don't want you," Raymond said later, tapping a nail into place on the dock. "They want control." 7 years settled into a steady life. Honest work, the porch at dusk, coffee with Callum, and the quiet dignity of fixing what's broken. I almost believed it would last. Then the knock came on a rain-furred Tuesday. Steps too careful for Callum, too light for Raymond. I opened the door to a ghost. Harper looked smaller, edges sharpened by years and cigarettes. The smile started, then died when she saw Callum standing behind me in the hall, stillness personified. "Can we talk?" she asked. We stepped onto the porch. The rain made a curtain we could disappear behind. "I tried to find you," she said. "Bianca went on a podcast, told the motel story like it was entertainment. It went viral. People called us monsters." Her hands shook. No ring. "I left them. I've been looking for you for 3 years. I want to make it right." I let the word sit. Right. "You didn't lose me," I said. "You threw me away." Tears found her eyes. "I know, but I've changed. Maybe we could try again." "I changed too," I said, surprised by my own calm. "The man you tied to that bed doesn't live here anymore." She glanced toward the door. "Is it him?" "It's not about someone else," I said. "It's about me. I loved you," she whispered. "You loved the idea of me," I said. "A man who made you feel bigger." She flinched. I didn't enjoy it. Much. "He seems nice," she said finally, one last look toward the hall. "He is," I said. "He's also not someone who would tie me to a bed and drive away laughing." She left in a sleek car that didn't suit the gravel and the rain. When I stepped back inside, Callum hadn't moved from Raymond's recliner. He looked up from my engine manual. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, and meant it. Consequences found Bianca and Tessa the way gravity finds falling things. Their next prank put a man in the hospital. The prosecutor, Martinez, sharp as a scalpel, found the viral video where Bianca bragged about my funny story. She found me too. Courtrooms are built to make everyone small. I took the stand under my new name and told the truth under the old one, the drugged drinks, the rope, the laughter in the hall, the walk in socks to a lobby that smelled like bleach and pity. The years before, when every joke at my expense was a little unspooling of who I was, the moment I decided not to go back. "What did it do to your life?" Martinez asked. "It ended the version of me that tolerated being treated like less," I said. "And it let the real one start." The defense tried to turn it into a harmless prank gone wrong. The jury's faces said otherwise. You could feel the room change when I described working my wrists raw while their laughter faded down the stairs. Afterward, I sat on Raymond's porch with Callum, the verdict hours away but already written in the way the town looked at me now. Not as a punchline, but as a man who had stood up, walked away, and built. Fireflies stitched light over the yard. The motion sensor glowed and idled, watchful but unalarmed. "They tried to erase you," Callum said. "They tried to freeze me," I answered. "I just kept moving." He lifted his mug. "Forward." "Forward," I said, and we let the quiet take it from there.